Good evening and welcome to another episode of Sip and Chat with me, your girl, Miss Fanta Ceesay. I'm very happy to be back. You know, I like these mini hiatus we do. I don't love it, but I like it because it is necessary, and I feel like every time we come back, I bring you an amazing guest. And tonight, I have the one and only, the biggest,
Yes, so.
the biggest event promoter in this entire country. This is the woman that brings us every artist that we need. This is the woman that says, you know what, Gambia, I've got you.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that she's on the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know how we do, the imaginary clap for the one and only Black Barbie, aka Mrs. Haddy Al Ahmar. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Congratulations for finally getting me on the show.
Let me tell you something. Since season 1, I have this woman was supposed to be my first guest. She'll be I'm the better at it. Well, you know what? I don't give up. That's what I like about myself.
Well, good things
Good things
don't
take
come
time.
easy, you know, they take time.
But thank you for coming finally.
Thank you for having me.
Are you happy to be here?
Huh? Nervous? And I'm not supposed to be. I don't know why.
And I see why she doesn't do interviews, because yesterday we were on the phone. She's like,
And I said to you, it feels like I'm doing a gala dinner tomorrow
literally, she
morning.
told me it feels like you should do like the Fanta Ceesay. But I'm
I
happy
don't like
we're here.
cameras. I just don't like cameras.
You like to be behind the scenes.
Yes.
Make sure everyone's good.
No, cameras are not for me. My lenses are enough for me. My lenses, the ones on my phone,
Are
they're
enough
enough
for
for me.
you.
Yes.
Well, you know what? Because
But
you
I'm
know,
happy to be here.
I'm happy that you're here.
I know it's gonna be fun.
Me too.
Yes.
Me too. Are we ready to get into it?
Yeah.
You know, but first, let me say thank you to my money makers. A big thank you to iNet for being a part of Sip and Chat. iNet for all your internet solutions. It is definitely the way to go. I don't complain, and I know I always say this, but it is the truth. I never back something I know that I've not experienced, and I have experienced it, and I'm happy with it. That is why I'm putting you guys on game, okay? Big thank you to AfriSoul Gambia Limited for being my main sponsors, for coming on this journey for season 2 with Sip and Chat. Truly grateful. Of course, Metro, always coming through for me. Metro has an event today that she's setting up for 600 people. I called her and said, I have a show, I'm filming tomorrow, and she came through for me. That is what I love about Metro. It is the care and their attention to please her people, and I really appreciate it. So thank you very much for coming through for me. And a massive thank you to Kalimba for being a part of the Sip and Chat family from beginning to now. We are truly grateful. I love this hotel. It is my favorite hotel because it is simply just quiet. And I love peace and quiet. I think because of my job, I just value peace and quiet. So thank you to Kalimba for being a part of, Sip and Chat. Truly grateful. And thank you to the one and only Haddy for coming on the show. Are you ready?
I am ready when you are.
You know, just briefly tell the people, who's Haddy?
Hi. See, I don't like when I'm being asked who's Haddy. You already know. Well, should I know you first?
Yes, of course. New York guy.
Assalamualaikum.
Yang you show because
New Nalen. By the way, I wanted to say something really silly, but I'll leave that for later.
knowing you say it before in the
So I
entire
can't-
show.
See, that's why I didn't want it to come. I know. I'm just too much nonsense. Anyways, my name is Haddy Faye, Mrs. Al Ahmar.
Yes.
Yes, for those of you that don't know. I'm the CEO of Absolute GM, which basically, in a nutshell, promotes music and organizes events, concerts, conferences, whatever. Anything that's to do with gathering, that's what we are specialized in. Yes, and I've been doing this for the past, I would say 13 years.
Yeah.
Yes. Quite a long journey,
Yes.
but I love it.
You do.
I wouldn't choose anything else. Yeah.
Why though? Because I know, when you came out in the scene, you had the biggest and the most popping fashion boutique. I think that's how, and it was called Absolute Glam. And it was such a phenomenon because, you know, for the first time, at least in my time, a young woman under 25 was able to have such a glam store that celebrities came to, and you built how, why that, like, and how did Absolute come about?
Well, for those of the people watching that might be watching would know that I've actually been in the fashion business for quite a long time, even before establishing Absolute Glam.
Okay.
It's something I have been doing for within the group of people that I used to hang around with, where I shop for them or design and say this is because I did home economics and I just have a thing for fashion. I just love looking good.
Nice.
And I love to see people around me look good too. So I used to do that for fun.
Yeah.
And the entertainment part as well. During my high school, I would say I was pretty much organizing every school event.
Nice.
Yes, it's down to my prom. I actually organized, imagine at my age, I actually hosted my prom in 2007 for Ndaus, senior secondary. And we've done I've done actually a lot of club gigs. I remember that's how I used to actually basically, we'll get down to that when I'm telling you about my story,
yes.
why Absolute Entertainment and all of that.
Yeah.
But the background actually came from that. Growing up, just loving fashion and then just loving to organize, bringing people together and just being a leader.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what I'd love to do. That's how I started Absolute Glam. It's actually very funny. When I started Absolute Glam, it should have been Absolute Entertainment first, but then because it was a lot easier to start the establishment of the fashion than the entertainment.
Yeah.
So that was why I started Absolute Glam before Absolute Entertainment. And a year down, launching Absolute Glam is when I actually started Absolute Entertainment, when I launched it officially. Yes, which was in 2009. Yeah, so that's how Absolute Entertainment came. But it's all from the love that I have for just gathering people, just making people happy. And on the fashion side, it's just me loving to look good and loving to see people look good too.
You do?
Yeah.
So walk me through the story of Absolute Entertainment. I need to know the story.
There isn't really a story. There isn't really a story about Absolute Entertainment. Like I said to you, it was more of passion. You know, just loving to put people together.
Yeah.
And having done it growing up,
Yeah.
it was a lot easier for me to actually start Absolute Entertainment. Yes, I didn't think it would get this serious and this big.
Really?
I didn't see that, to be honest with you. I didn't see that. Most people actually just know a couple of events that I've done, and that's because that's when we started like really, really growing, going international. But then we've done a lot. Absolute Entertainment has hosted a lot of musicians. I would say literally every single musician out in Senegal, we've actually hosted in the Gambia.
Really?
Yes, and we've managed to travel with them also on a couple of shows outside of Africa. So I gained a lot of experience in that, which was the reason why I was confident enough in getting to the international scene where we hosted Wizkid for the first time. How I got Wizkid was actually very, very funny. You know, it's just power of social media.
Yeah.
When I remember I traveled to Geneva and I posted a photo of mine and it had the location Geneva, whatever, I can't remember, but it was in Geneva. And then someone that follows me on Instagram sent me a DM and was like, oh, we're here too and we would love to meet you. And guess what? It was EME, their boss.
Oh.
That time Wizkid was signed on the EME.
On the EME, nice.
Yeah, on the EME with Nyola.
Yeah.
Remember back then?
Banky W.
Yeah, Banky W. So I met them and they were super, super, super nice. We had such a lovely evening. And then they were like, you know what, we like you. You know, we are the ones behind Wizkid. And I can promise you, when you go back, we will give you Wizkid. That's how I got Wizkid.
Really?
I literally did not work hard for Wizkid. It just happened, just like that. The power of social media and having good people on your social media.
Absolutely.
To be honest with you. Same thing with Davido as well. Davido was so easy as well. I sent him, I was in Atlanta and I saw him post a photo that he was in Atlanta, Buckhead, same place, same area that I was in. And I sent him a DM and I'm like, I'm in Buckhead too. He was like, send me your number. I sent him my number. He called me. He was like, come pick me up. Let's go out. Let's go out. And I went, we were on Uber, picked him up, and then we went out together, you know. And from then we became friends. And it was as easy as
that.
As just telling him I wanted to host you in the Gambia. And it was accepted. I didn't really need it to work really, really hard
for it.
Yes, to be honest, yeah. Having to start like that in an international scene, I think it's a blessing.
It is.
It is a blessing.
It really is.
Because I know how hard I could get to reach. Talk about these guys that are constantly on the road. They're so popular. They have a lot of responsibilities, not just family, but the fans, and having to give their fans what to basically listen to. For you to actually have really easy access
to them.
can only be a blessing. Coming out from Gambia, a small country
A
like
small
the
country
Gambia,
like Gambia.
I'm telling you, it has to be a blessing.
Absolutely.
You understand? So yeah, and I didn't even see that coming. You understand? When I started, it was more like a hobby. To be quite honest, for so many years of just doing, promoting music and hosting events, we've not been making money. We were not making money at all. But like I
Really?
said to you, it's because I just love gathering people. I just love catering for people, making people happy. And you know, I guess fala barke bi joge ko. Yes, we waited patiently. We did not just rush into things. We did not just do it because we wanted to be seen as kimo in the kimo definitely. No, it was more of hanga nga buga dara, and then nga neka di si liggéey ba yalla def legi mu barke. Mun na la wax ne la ne so for 5 years or 6 years of just hosting events, foog naa léegi la liggéey bi doog a barke. And I think loolu patience moo ko joxe.
Absolutely.
You know, having to wait and working hard and making sure that you grow, trying to prove better, do better, you know, challenge yourself.
Absolutely.
That's what got us here.
I mean, getting Wizkid, especially at that time when he was just busting through the international scene, and you having him then, I think for a lot of Gambians at that time, especially our age, it was kind of like, oh wow, she's gonna give us whatever we need. It kind of almost solidified that.
It was unbelievable. There were so many doubts, you know, because it wasn't just Wizkid. There was another one that they've always advertised in the Gambia, and he never came.
Yeah.
And apparently Wizkid was one of them too, and I didn't even know. So you know, we were dealing with people questioning us whether this was legit or not. You know, so we constantly had to what's it called? Tell people, yeah, it's coming, to a point where we had Wizkid send us a video drop. You know, we were following him everywhere he goes. You know, we have videos of him, footages of him talking about Gambia, posting it, going on Twitter about it. So you know, it was kind of like a moment for absolute entertainment.
It
I guess.
really was.
Yes,
it really was because for a lot of us at that time, it was like, oh my God, Wizkid. And this was the time Wizkid was like peak in Africa.
I love Wizkid then.
That's the favorite.
Yeah, that
I
was
think, and that album he brought then, it was so beautiful to just see, and just the joy of knowing that you made that happen for all of us was so, like, I think that's when everyone was like, absolute, we need you to do this. And I know I've been bugging you, Haddy do Indiki all the time. Just to know that at that moment you did that, you brought Wizkid, you brought Davido. These were the biggest, still are the biggest, two biggest acts from Africa that are doing so well.
Yeah.
How was that for you moving on? Was it easier to get more artists because you had to show that? Or?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. It was a lot easier because then now telling people who we are was a lot easier because you didn't need to write a book. You just need to say, oh, I did Wizkid, I did Davido, and then, oh, cool, yes, what's your budget? Yeah. It was that easy, to be honest with you. Yeah. It actually basically paved the way for us. Yeah. It did. Yeah.
Having Wizkid, I mean, and then Davido, and then so many acts that followed, you have Yusundur, the biggest. And I know, is Yusundur your biggest break yet? Because I know you've done Yusundur for 5 years now, right?
Yes, 5. I would say Yusundur has been the dream.
Okay.
A lot of people, I would get to that. Yeah. A lot of people see it as Yusundur is the hot cake.
Yeah.
But come on, I've made a lot more money on other shows than I had done 2 years into Yusundur.
Really?
And people will not believe that. So it's like, you know, everybody, I mean, like, he's the king.
He is.
You know, because you know what I mean. It's something that I've Lolo was enough. You know what I mean. But because Yusu is the king, you know, and Purman, he was everything I wanted, you know. But yeah, there has been really successful shows that we've done, other than just Yusundur. And I think you know that. Yes. Davido was huge, even though, yes, there was a lot of crazy things that happened during that time. But I'll tell you, if that part of his performance didn't happen, it's the best that I've ever done.
Really?
Yes. I would say Davido and Popcorn.
Yeah. No, Popcorn mom means Popcorn mom.
Yeah. Davido, Popcorn, Chronics.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot
Chronics.
of things that we have done that, you know.
Chronics
Yeah.
was so packed.
I think it's because Yusu is more like home, you know.
Yeah.
This is why all people see. And Maggie, the fact that they attract different ages.
Yeah.
I guess is the reason why that's all they see more gonna fist. You know, because obviously, like, my mom's generation will not go to a popcorn or Chronics. They don't even know who these people are. So you know, duñ mëna tok waxtané Youssou Ndour. It's easy pour ñu waxtané Youssou Ndour because yow di nga ko mëna wax, Saraka dina ko mëna wax, sa yaay dina ko mëna waxtané, sa pa mëna ko waxtané. So lolu mo gëna mëna fess. Liggéey bobu non fokk mu fess. Fokk mu fess ba paré tamit Yalla may ko lu bari nak machallah. So lolu la.
Comme Yalla ñu la mayé rek.
Wa
Légui wax ma naka nga joté Youssou Ndour? Parce que time bobu no, parce que time bobu di nga gis Youssou Ndour, right? I think I don't remember before you. Kañ la Youssou Ndour daan ñu?
I will tell you.
Please do.
I remember the last time Youssou Ndour came here before man ma commencé liggéey ak mom was in 2015 and that was with Social Security. Gaay ñu ngi défé on gala dina bi both the gala and the dance at the Independence Stadium. And I remember that was the first year I was brave enough to actually sit down and write a whole proposal with a very good friend of mine, Olifal.
Oh,
so you can say, many I choose to ginar.
Nice.
Huh? Defar suñ proposal bu correct. Dem ne dañoo dem meeting ak Youssou Ndour pour dem bokkoon dañ ko bëgg a indi Gambia.
Really?
I swear to God, that's what we did. Ñu dem, they were staying at Red Croc, Ocean Bay.
When Social Security
When
had
Social
brought
Sec-
him.
Yes.
Okay.
During the time the Social Security has brought him. So, madam, unfortunately for me, I did not meet Youssou directly. But before even that, I started working with his family in 2013.
Okay.
I remember when I first did a kids show was in 2012 when I actually had Philip Ndour back then at Dream Park.
Yeah.
So I had Philip Ndour. So when Philip Ndour came, actually I went to Dakar and then because I'm good friends with Buba Ndour, his dad, I said I wanted to have Philip on a show. And he was like, Haddy, Philip must perform anywhere in the world. I don't think he's able to do it. I'm like, yes, he is able to do it. And he has a huge following in Gambia.
Yes.
And this is my first gig with children. And I want him on it. And he accepted. And it was the first time that Philip Ndour went on stage to perform.
Here in Gambia?
Here in Gambia, at Dream Park. So that's when the relationship started building. And then when they went back and having come in here and seeing the show successful, when they went back, he recommended to his sister, which is Ngone Ndour, that does the Saint Gale, that it is wise to work with me in bringing the brand to the Gambia. Hence, we're neighbors, and then we have a lot of similarities to actually have me as their partner in the Gambia. So I was actually appointed as the sole agent of Prince Arts in the Gambia. Not just on Saint Gale, but I used to do a lot of negotiations for clients that they would have that wanted to sign their artists. They used to have Pap Juve back then on their label, Alium Binder. They had Aida Samba. Quite a lot of them. Titi was on them as well, because I've worked with Titi also, and it was through Prince Arts. Nice. So that's when I actually started representing them. So I built up a relationship from 2013 with the family, working with them until down to 2015, 2 years later, when they came to Gambia. I decided to write a proposal. We said we were going to go see Youssou Ndour without an appointment.
Hold that thought.
I swear.
We're going to go with our first break. When we're back, we'll hear more about this story.
On the beat, Wingcraft.
Enjoy spending time online with your friends on social media? If so, then AfriCell has the best offer for you. Activate the social media bundle for $10 is only and enjoy 40 megabytes valid for 24 hours. WhatsApp, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, and Viber all for $10 is only. Dial 120# and press 3 to activate the social media bundle. No need to subscribe every day. It will automatically roll over for your enjoyment. AfriCell Social Media Bundle. Let us socialize.
Welcome back after that break. Massive thank you to our sponsors for being a part of Sip and Chat. Truly grateful. Back here with the beautiful Haddy, aka Black Barbie. You know, right before the break, you were telling us how you were trying to get Yusundur. So you wrote your proposal with Oli. You went to Red Cross.
Yes. Two little girls.
Yes.
With so much ambition.
Yes.
Had our letters ready and went to Red Croc without even an appointment. But obviously, we knew a couple of people. We had
yes,
to pull our plugs.
Of course.
Just so we could actually see someone that's relevant.
Of course.
So we actually went. Now, when we got there, unfortunately for us, we didn't meet Yusuf to talk about that. We learned that you needed to speak to his manager when it comes to business. So it's not him that you talk about business. Even if you do, he's going to have to send you back to his manager. That's how professional the guy is. He wouldn't talk to you. He wouldn't make decisions. He would send you back to his manager.
Nice.
So we went and met with Madi Dami. We sat down, introduced ourselves. Mu like no, mane yoy kan. Mane ko man may tuddu Haddy. Man promoteur la. No promoteur. Mu ne ma ñun duñu liggéey ak promoteur. Mane ko ah pourquoi? Mu ne ma ne la ñun ki institution yu magi lañuy liggéey ay ñom port ñoo ñu fi andi. Gis nga ñu fi andi social security. Ak ay gamtel ñooñu la ñuy liggéeyal ñun duñu liggéey ak promoteur ma ne ko oui mu ne ma waaw. The guy just literally shut the door on my face just like that. I had nothing else to say. I was speechless. So that was basically just someone telling me, I'm sorry, we can't work with you. You're too small for us. Basically. And then the small girl, big God in me said was like, it's a lie. It's not happening. I'm like, okay, no problem. I
can only imagine.
You dem talk ak Youssou natalu ba kontaan. That was 2015. 2016, we did Davido. Okay. 2017, we also had a couple of shows. I can't remember, but we did a couple of shows in 2017. In 2017, when I actually went back for a second time and said, I want Youssou and I have to get Youssou. So obviously made a couple of calls and to just say pour ñu jappalé ma rek, you know, lolu is important. Ken do am kudu nak di laka. Wow. Mané okay, li la bëggoon, projet bi la bëggoon a def. I'm bëggoon a indi Youssou Ndour Gambia in December. This was supposed to be December. I was actually applying for December 2017. Oh wow. Not even January. Luckily for me this time around, they listened. Oh. Yes. Okay. And I was granted a contract. And believe me when I tell you, big mawa contracts. I didn't even know what I was dealing with. I swear. And it was for one night show. It was supposed to be for just a grand ball, not an absolute weekend. The plan wasn't to have an absolute weekend. It was just to have a grand ball. So, talk about fees, money. I don't even know how I even paid Youssou Ndour. Yes, I can't tell you how that happened. Wow. You understand? But I know when they said this is what they wanted, we made sure that the money was available because that's the only way you could actually sign a contract. By the way, for everyone listening, I know there's been a lot of stories about, oh, kira fam halis bu fay Youssou Ndour. Hi. I wish it was that simple, you know what I mean? I'd rather Youssou Ndour employ me and I work for him. You know what? That comes with a lot more than just having him on a one-day gig. Absolutely. You know what I mean? You don't know what that means. It means I get to be wherever. It means I can be. It means I can be with him at any time. You know what I mean? So I would definitely love to work with Youssou Ndour. I would have rather that than having to sign a contract. Because it came with a lot of benefits. Oh yes, it comes. Less stress. It does. As opposed to you figuring out where the venue is to pay this, to get that. It does. So yes, when we were approved, when my date was approved in 2017, I had to now fly to Senegal and to go meet up with the manager and sign a contract and obviously make a deposit for whatever the amount that they're asking for. And I did that. I went to Senegal, we had a successful signing, you know, and then we announced. It was unbelievable to most people. It was unbelievable. Like, again, it reminded me of how we started with Wizkid, the scenario of Wizkid now. We had to come back and live that. You know what I mean? And this time around, it was actually a lot bigger because then now you're dealing with city sikiri, domi sikiri, yayi sikiri, papa sikiri, mom lam, du mom, dina amam du am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but then, lu du yalla rek du dara, nen la. We did it, and it was very successful. In fact, again, I'll tell you, nothing good comes easy. Even after signing that contract, you would think this is it. It's so simple. It was so easy. Remember, I said to you, this was supposed to be a December gig.
Yes.
And it was supposed to be just a grand ball.
Yes.
And if you recall, it wasn't just a grand ball.
No.
There was a gala dinner.
Yes.
And there was a concert.
Yes.
Now what happened? There was somebody else that was actually claiming it.
Yes.
Mom dafa sign Youssou Ndour for Gambia. And what he did was, man nak bi la amé mom mu tiyé ci gain bi. What he did was, went to stadium and paid them for that same day, 28th of December. Duma ko musa faté.
I remember.
Paid the date, and that's what he had. And took pictures of those and was posting it online. Dima saga. Amut lu ma yakut. Called me names. Lu bon fum gëna xassawé rek. Ma tok japp suma jambur.
Tontumako. No response.
No.
Just kept quiet.
No, we did not respond at all. The most important thing for us was to just be collective.
Yeah.
You know, sit down and just wait, because he said he was going to sign his contract. Yusu was in the US. He's actually in the US too. He was going to go sign his contract and he's going to put it out and we're all going to see it. The day came, we were all sat there waiting for him to come out with his contract, and there was no contract. Te hanga da sey ne legi so bëggé keneen bëgg dang ko bay mu jël.
Wow.
Loolu laa def ak moom. Cokkeer bi si man xeexuma ak moom, xulóowuma ak moom, tontuwantewuma ak moom. Ma bàyyi ko lim doon xeex. Déet nga am, man nag bi laa am. Ma decide pour change ma déet. Ndeke nag ñu ne yàlla suy defar dafa mel ni kuy yàq. Ndeke man xamoon ni xéewal bi si January bi la nekk. Boobu kenn du daan def event in January.
Truly, because everyone would be here and leave by that time.
Ko wax rek mu ne la December. Even man, I've never thought that you could actually do anything in January and succeed in it. We all used to fight for that same December, that period that everybody is here.
Yes.
With good faith, I would move my date. I decided to pick a date. I wanted the following weekend, which was the first weekend of January. But then I was told na Youssou c'est le day of Grand Balam bi Senegal.
True.
So I can't have that. So I decided to do the weekend after that. This is why we used to have Absolute Weekend. That's how we actually called it an Absolute Weekend, and now extended it to a gala dinner and a Grand Bal instead. I didn't want it to get into the 3 days because pour madame is exhausting, and why waste your time and money and you know what's the worth? Ñaar rek doyna. Bi ñi ko antal dampa ñi antanut bale ñu dem ci bale mu jeex ñep bokko ko mu neex rek. That's how Absolute Weekend started. We decided to do January. And
so you did it January 2018?
January 2018. The contract was signed in 2017 for 2018, early 2018.
That's why it's always in January now.
Yes, that was my first ever gala dinner. I never actually imagined what a gala dinner was like. I've been on several gala dinners, but I've never actually known what it is to host a successful gala dinner. But you know, you know how it's like.
Small girl, big God.
Small girl, big God.
Where did you get that name?
Well, it's small girl, big God. Where did I get that name? I'm a definition of a small girl, big God.
Truly,
Who are you talking about?
Truly.
That's what I am.
Truly.
Yes. So, you know, alhamdulillah, we're on our 5th year.
Yes.
It's been amazing.
Has it been?
It's been a long journey.
It has. What would you say has been the toughest one?
Out of the 5?
Yes.
I would say this year.
This year. Why?
This year for me, I keep telling people, last year, I experienced something that I've never actually experienced throughout my entire life, whether while I was doing showbiz or even while I had Absolute Glam. I've never been scared of being successful in anything except for that one time, which was last year. It was crazy and it was scary. To a point that I didn't want it to go anywhere. You know, I remember when I did Whiskey Chronics, the last one was Chronics. I just wanted to be out because you know what? The reviews were positive. Everywhere you go, people were talking about it. You're happy. You know, you just want to hear it. You just want to move on to the next one.
Yeah.
You know, that's just because of the way people are talking about it, the positive messages that are coming with it. You know what I mean? For me, last year, I was scared of actually going out because I had Popcorn and Yusundur, which were two very, very big, massive events.
And
That we
a week apart or 2 weeks? A week apart.
That we successfully hosted. I would have never in my mind actually believed that we could pull that off.
Wow.
It wasn't just Popcorn in Yusundur. In fact, we had St. Peter. So we had actually I would say 4 events lined up within the space of 3 weeks.
Yes.
And these are events that we're talking about that will put 10,000 people together, which is truly a blessing, and it deserves you to go out and celebrate and feel good about it. But then I was scared and I was locked up at home.
Why?
I don't know. It's just because of the way people were just going on and on and on. Dama ne kon ma sutura suma boppa ma sama suma boppa am young lamagne bi baxut. It was like everybody, and you know, it's sad. The sad part is people don't see the good in what we do alone. It's all about the money. When they talk about it, it's just the money part. It's money that brings money.
True.
We spend money to make money. And in most cases, the more you spend, the more you make.
Absolutely.
And sometimes we don't even make money at all. But then the way they talk about it, like dama de ragal, danga ragal. Outside of that, the toughest one was this year.
How?
This year has been crazy. It has been really, really crazy. This country is a bit wild. It's wild. You know, you would think doing so much good, you will gain a lot of support from people. True. You know, you would actually want to invite people into your space. True. To actually also benefit.
Yes.
Kind of like nga xalel yoon.
Wow.
Nga bàyyi nit ñi tam li ñu war a mun a am ñu am ko si yow si li nga liggéey. And that's what I've been doing actually. A huge team, very determined, that would do literally anything that I asked them to do. And that's because of respect, love, and the way we're just able to just reason as human beings and work together. And each go back to whatever it is that they all have their lives outside of just coming to work for Absolute Entertainment. For me, it's not, I don't even call it work, they're my family. You know what I mean? And it's always about supporting each other outside of just hosting events.
Yes.
This year has been tough for me. It was actually really, really tough for me. But then again, ludu di Yalla rek neen la. Yes. Te foog naa gëm sa bopp ak bugg a liggéey moo la dee sutural léegi-léegi. Te dama ne nag ne soo setee loxo, xale su setee loxo foog léegi-léegi mu bokk ak ay mag ndam. Waaw. Waaye dañu war a gestuwaat di support the young people. Te wax bii nii is for ñi nga xam ne ñoom ñoo ñu féetee kaw. Bu ñu dee xool torop parce que suñu xoolee torop duñ am luñ bëgg si ñun. Dañu war a seetee ne ñun seen ay rakkaati rakka lañ, seen ay doom lañ. Ñu jóg di ñu taxaw buñ ñu galgala.
Bu ne buñ ñu galgala man Haddy saa yu ma toogee moom jàng olof. Parce que man
ñu
sama olof
xoxatal
quoi bu ñu naka.
buñ ñu xoxatal.
Mooy naka mooy lan.
di la kii.
di la xoj daal.
déedéet nañu bàyyi ku ci nekk ak yàlla lim la may la.
ak sa wërsëg.
ak sa wërsëg la. te loo ñaxut rek doo ko lekk. waaw loo ñaxut rek doo ko lekk. man ñaanuma kenn sàccuma kenn abuma kenn damaa liggéey li ma wax rek mooy jàppale leen ma liggéey waxuma la may ma de li ma de jàppale ma si rek. So it has been tough because dafa mel ni dama doon doog a commencé waat.
Wow.
Because I needed to prove myself. I've gotten to a point where I thought this could be the last because dama ne ndax jar na ko.
I remember you told me
yaay la
that.
dama am doom.
I remember when we were speaking about it, and I said, and you were like, Fanta, let's just do it. This might be the last one. Let's make sure it's amazing.
Yeah.
You said that to me.
Yeah, I said that to you.
And I couldn't understand. I was like, Haddy, I was like, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Why? Why did you think it would be the last one?
Because dama sona. Because I was tired. I just had enough. And pour man dama ne jaru ko alele aduna jaralun mako. I have so much responsibilities.
True.
Imagine life without me, my siblings, my mother,
True.
my child,
True.
my husband.
True.
And I will come and kill myself for one event, for one artist. Luta, why? Lol goma di yalla la. So dafa demone ba nga xamne su jaré lima nit di def ñuma ko def liñ ma xalatal liñ ma éné liñ ma yekka ñuma ko yekka ma bayé lan ko dam uti ji leneen yalla may na ma tank may ma loxo may ma ay nopp may ma bot may ma gémmiñ may ma xel tamit bi bu baax sax parce que yow xam nga man xam naa te ñiy déglu ñiy seetaan xam nañ man duma kuy toog si jotaay di wax si nit duma ko promote te du jógee ko si man ñi ma déglu xam nañ bu baax li ma wax te jarul ma dugg si détail boobu parce que li xew mooy dafa am ku ci bokk koo xam ne I have absolute respect for te tey yàlla ak moom moo tax tey bii nii li ma mus a def suma àddina yëpp li liggéey bu baax bu ma mus a def yëpp tey bii dafa mel ni yooyu yëpp countut benn bii rek su ma ko tuddee rek cër bu mag la ma dee jox kon kooku noonu jaral na ma lu nekk kooku jaral na ma mandu ma toog ma continuer te lim ma dee wax dama ko dee déglu all the time te depuis moo commencé di déglu di jaar si lim maa wax gisuma dara lu bon lu si jógee ko soo du ma toog di wax waaye li am solo rek mooy dee leen di bàyyi seen xel te mag yi nañ ñu bàyyi ñu liggéey
Small girl, big God.
Small girl, big God. Bobu dang ko wara moytu. Bobu jara moytu la. Yeah, but sante yalla. You know what? It was difficult. It was a very tough time for me. But it has been my biggest as well.
Wow.
It has been our biggest.
It has.
Musu ñoo def program Youssou Ndour for the past 5 years.
I mean the
bu melni
truly
liñ def this January. Musuta am. Lum neex waay wax waay bii kenn duñu tampon duñu jox waaw alhamdulillah again it comes down to ne rek reminder la rek ne nothing good comes easy.
Absolutely.
I guess comfort boobu amoon comfortable boobu ma comfortable woon ba toog noonu ne daal nii rek duma fagaru
waaw
yàlla si la ma ne jógal God kind of humbled me. He kind of did humble me. Yes, so it was good.
Okay.
And I learned so much from it. And you know what, we're coming back 6.0.
Because did you sign it immediately after?
I don't need to sign it immediately after.
Because it was solidified.
I don't ever sign it immediately after.
Really?
Never. It comes down to just me sending my requesting for a date. And usually he's always available for that. So, but you know, you have to just follow the protocol.
Of course.
You know, you have to, you know, do what you gotta do.
True.
Yeah. And once it's approved, you see me. You will start seeing me telling you back to what first the lifestyle.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be back in Senegal.
True.
But then yeah, it's gonna happen again. Inshallah.
I'm happy to hear that.
And then you know what? It's always gonna be bigger and better.
Always.
Yes. Liggéey bi daal du liggéey bi rek sax in everything lu waay di def. For as long as you love what you're doing, te yaa ngi ko def si xol bu set. Defoo ko pour yaxal nit wala pour tooñ nit wala pour sonal doomi aadama. Rek Yàlla dina la si seet. Wow.
On that note, we'll go with our second break. When we're back, more with the beautiful Haddy.
On the beat, Wingcraft.
Spending time online with your friends on social media? If so, then AfriCell has the best offer for you. Activate the social media bundle for $10 is only and enjoy 40 megabytes valid for 24 hours. WhatsApp, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, and Viber all for $10 is only. Dial 120# and press 3 to activate the social media bundle. No need to subscribe every day. It will automatically roll over for your enjoyment. AfriCell Social Media Bundle. Let us socialize.
Thank you very much and welcome back to Sip and Chat. Thank you to our sponsors. We have the beautiful Haddy here. When we say entertainment, when we say music promotion, when we say events in Gambia, this is the name that it is associated with when it comes to especially successful events. Haddy, you've done this for so long now, and you know, you inspire a lot of women with it. Your work ethic, your ability to never give up, as you've explained, you know, your fierceness in this male-dominated business. And I know that is so inspiring to me, to young women, and this is why they would constantly tell me, bring Haddy on the show. What would you say to the young woman that's watching you, that has a dream, whatever the dream is, for you to be consistent? Because this is a male-dominated business, and you're at the top of it.
Yeah, for me, being in business, being a woman in business is quite interesting, exciting, but challenging at the same time. You understand? But I love it. I love it because I know I get to pave a way for a lot of young women, and I get to actually prove that women can rise,
Absolutely,
even in male-dominated fields. You know, I cannot say it's not challenging. It is indeed challenging, but the goal is to just focus and to push, to prove yourself in every engagement and to do better than you've done before. And always remember that nothing good comes easy.
I like that line.
Yeah, nothing good comes easy. You've got to fight. The goal is always to just do better, to be appreciated, to inspire. That's just the secret. Yes.
I know the girls will be happy about that because it's a lot of, how does Haddy do it?
Yeah.
How do you do it?
There's no way that anyone can tell you can never do it. You can't do it. I did it. I didn't have to go anywhere. I've never lived anywhere my entire life.
Because there's always that as well with like Gambia for ngagin and ngameko.
No.
And you are a perfect example of,
You know, gena bi lim la de dimbale rek moy so demé ñew di nga xamné li fi nekk du dara so fo nga ñafé.
Yeah.
Fokk nga ñafé. You would actually value the potentials that you have. You know what I mean? And if you can make it here, there we go, wherever you are, you would make it. Believe me, because we work twice as hard as a regular person will work anywhere else.
Yeah.
I can imagine if I was doing what I am doing, even in Senegal, the amount of support, how quickly I would just grow.
Absolutely.
You know, the moves I'll be able to make. But we don't get enough support in this country.
We don't.
We don't, especially being a woman. Yeah, so for me, there's nothing like you can never. I would. There's absolutely nothing I can't do, for as long as I set my mind on it. Yeah.
I like that. You know, being this, what would you say are some of the things that have kept you going, even after this experience that you've just had with this Yusundu? You know, when quote unquote something knocks you and it's kind of like, wow, like what keeps you going?
I would say family. I'm all about family. I am big with family. My family gives me life. My family is the reason why I have a purpose, I would say. The reason why I push.
Nice.
I'm the eldest in my family. I have siblings. You know, they look up to me to a point that it scares the shit out of me. It scares the hell out of me. I'll be constantly reminding myself, you can't fail.
Yeah.
You can't be otherwise.
Yeah.
You have to be the best.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, it's family, and I'm very big with energy as well. You understand?
True.
So the past few years have just taught me to just go with the flow, just go with energy. It doesn't matter. I don't have to be best friends with anybody.
Yeah.
It's just energy.
Yeah.
For as long as we can just be positive
Yeah.
and just win.
Yeah.
That's it.
I like that.
But yeah.
I like that.
As
You
a
mentioned
family.
family.
Yeah.
You know, we've talked a lot about business because, you know, you have two Capricorns sat here. We like money, so we
Yes.
talk about the business a lot.
Like
but
man fana la.
man nag jahan ka na, di buka halis. Now, outside of Haddy, the fierce entrepreneur, the businesswoman, Haddy Faye, small girl, big God. Haddy Faye, if you challenge me, you will see fire. Who is Haddy? The wife, the mother. Who's Haddy at home?
Di petit Jack man. Ah yow ñëw nga suma kër.
Yes.
Gis nga.
Yes.
Ak suma bari affaire bi yëpp suma duggee kër dama am kilifa foofu. And I listen.
Yeah.
Dégg ndigal. Di def li jigéen war a def si biir néegi sëyam. Which sometimes even for people that meet me would tell me, I never knew you're this type of person. I'm like, what am I supposed to be?
Yeah.
You guys, what do you guys think? You think I'm some sort of a robot?
Yes.
I just sit down and do nothing?
Yes.
You know, no. The mom kilifa. And if you're close to me, you know I respect my husband.
A lot.
A lot. I listen to him. It's nothing I don't talk to that guy about. I cook for him. I cook, I clean. I take care of my son like he's a doll. Unbelievable. I literally worship that kid. I would do anything for that child.
Oh.
I have another boy, Muntaha,
Yes.
6-year-old that I adopted. I love my boys at home. We're a very small family, but yeah, at home, we have a beautiful home. Very, no noise.
You know, you said you respect your husband. There's nothing that you don't tell him. And it just begs to ask this question. How would you say he's influenced you as a businesswoman?
He is everything I am. Ganaw Yala is that guy.
Mashallah.
I would say that.
It's
I
so
don't like
beautiful to
getting
see.
into it
Yeah.
because it makes me emotional.
Aw.
But I will confidently say, without that guy, I don't know where on earth I would be. And it's not because of money, because again, dika bi ñep halis. All they see is just money.
Yeah.
And I guess you understand why I'm even
Absolutely.
about to get into this.
Yeah.
Because I've married into a completely different race.
Yes. Absolutely.
And pour ñoom, just being there is because of money.
Yeah.
Well, breaking news. When I met the guy, I didn't know what he had.
Yeah.
And I think if it was because of money, I wouldn't be there.
True.
Duma fa nekk.
True.
I did not see anything loo xam ne nii suma jëkkër tey amoon na ko ba moo ma fa teg. Lu dul ngor ak gëm Yàlla
That's true.
ak éene bu rafet rek. When I met him, I literally just graduated from high school. I didn't even do life.
Wow.
I literally just graduated from high school when I met this guy.
Wow.
And this was through hosting an event, trying to host an event. Very funny story. He didn't push. He didn't force himself on me. He's very genuine guy, very generous, you know, very open and straightforward
Yes.
guy.
Straight shooter.
You know, straight shooter. He says things the way it is, whether you like it, hate him or love him. He'll just give it to you the way it is.
That is true.
I met him and I fell in love with the type of person that he is. It's not for what he has, because gisuma woon loolu. I was young.
Yeah.
There was
Te
no
ñun
way
time
I
boobu
could
ñun
know
love
even
rek
the value
Yeah,
of money. There
yeah.
was no social media. There was no
Yeah.
peer pressure.
Yeah.
There was nothing like that. So I don't know how the hell it could be about money.
Money.
He planted a seed and today mu ngi gis loolu mu ngi flourish.
Mashallah.
Because then it made life easier for him. Because today, the ewu Haddy Faye buga adina, he would have suffered.
Wow.
Imagine if I was just being a dependent at home,
Yeah.
not doing anything. There are times yoo xam ne nii, he had to go down.
Yeah.
He went down while I was growing up.
Yeah.
And then I supported him
Yeah.
the same way he supported me before. But that was a wise guy that actually saw the potentials in me and did not just toppa lim buga am si man rek. Iñaanewut ma woon. Seetut ne mun naa am bako fa.
Wow.
Kii su ma ko jàppalee mun na moo dem ba ma. No, he was smart enough to invest in me. And today, we're able to take care of each other.
Mashallah.
I don't have to depend on him. And he knows yàlla tere tere ko if he's no more or bu yàlla na bu ma ko tudda sax yàlla na bu fa àgg sax bu loolu waroon a xew xam na ne doomam du soona mukk because xam na ne lim liggéey si man mu ngi si man te dafa nekk si man ba faw mooy jàppale bi ma jàppale ku baax góor bu baax ku am yërmande am yéene bu rafet suma jëkkër xanaa bu ma la mere su ma la mere daf laa mere
waaw
soo ma tooñee he will come for you jaral naa ko lu ne
ndeysaan
jaral naa ko lu nekk nag wax nañ ko waaye terewut yàlla mooy boole nit yàlla moo ma booleeg moom I happen to be his woman and he happen to be my man loolu la yàlla dogal so li am solo mooy ñu bëgg di ñaanalante rek jàmm rek that's it but yes my husband actually contributed a lot gannaaw yàlla moom la
mashallah you know speaking of wax nañ lu bari what would we say has been the craziest rumor you've heard about yourself or you and your husband
there's been so many it's so funny enough there's been so many there's been so many I like the fact buñ dee wax ne dëkk bi yëpp la amel xaalis
what
man
yow
man mi Faye
dëkk bi yëpp la amel xaalis
waaw
oh wow okay
man li ma mënta understand mooy how powerful can I be ne dama amel dëkk bi yëpp xaalis ñu maa gis maa ngeen naaw
defuñ la dara
defuñ ma dara maa ngi si biir dëkk bi fii di dunda life living my life my best life
wow
te maa ngi amel nit ñi xaalis
confidently
te maa ngi mun a taseeg ñoom ñooñu noonu ñu maa tuddal ne dama amal gaay xaalis maa ngi taseeg ñoom si mbedd gi kenn ñema ñu maa dara xam naa ne bari naa doole daal
waaw
man boobu daf ma di always def ree
da nga amel dëkk bi yëpp xaalis
dëkk bi yëpp la amel xaalis boobu moom dégg naa ko not of late parce que léegi gars yi dañ foog ne
léegi borom alal la léegi moom doo mën a amel kenn
waaw waaye xam nga kuy yaaxa nag moom kuy dem la bañ a gis jamono bi ñoo wax loolu dañ gisoon kuy dem te dañ gisoon ne kooku yoonam leer na moo tax ñu daan wax li ñoo wax waaye about stories that there's been too many I honestly can't but this one daf ma daan defaree daf ma daan jaaxal
wow
and it's okay pour nga amel nit xaalis people need to understand that it's okay pour ñuy amalante
waaw
suñu amalante wut si xaalis ñu ngi amalante si ay bàkkaar te booboo gën a bon foog naa bu ñëw moytu booboo jara moytu
wax dëgg
not xaalis bi ku la ëpp xaalis dafa dem di uti xaalis te nim ko amee yow sax xamuloo ko te léegi-léegi suñ la ko waxee sax doo ko gëm am na ñum jaral lu ne nag
that's true
so nañ bàyyi waxu am xaalis bi ak ñàkk xaalis bi amalante bak loolu fii lañ ko fekk te fii lañ ko bàyyi li ñoo def li gën a bon ñu ngi koo def te gisuñ ko bu kenn ruusee nga am soxla nga dem wax ko nit make sure rek ki nga koo wax amal na la njëriñ mu am sutura ku la mun a suturaal la mu suturaal la parce que nga am ko nga faj sa soxla te amut sutura man gisuma lu ma ko jaral dara nekkul si nga am soxla nga wax nit su mu ne dimbale mu dimbale la dara nekkul si bu ko kenn ruusee yàlla def na nag nekkuma si situation bu ma àbba nit xaalisam pour def dara waaye yàgg dañ ma ko tam de
that must be xam naa soo boo déggee
xam naa ne musuñ maa yóbbu police pour xaalis musuñ maa yóbbu police musuma receive payment notice from anyone musuma taseeg nit si mbedda mu àkkama fay ma suma alal te yàlla na bu ma ko musali parce que man dama yemale suñu woowu si lu ma mun rek laay duga lu ma mënu duma si duga kenn mënu maa def loolu ma bëggut a def mu loo mënta am boobu nit judduwut
it's the confidence for me I love it now that must be a crazy rumor because I know you hear a lot of them but outside of like work family like what's a hobby that you love that maybe even people don't know that Haddy moom lii rek la bëgg outside of liggéey lodo gis nga soo ma xamale ne lodo dama laa laaj xanaa man fu ma nekk kon
play lodo Fanta lodo daf ma di jaral lu nekk
Haddy dina génn këram toog place play lodo Haddy di nga ko conseillé nga ne ko kaay jël xaalis mu ne la maa ngi ñëw
dama tukki ak lodo sax billahi dama lodo rek léegi-léegi dama dee rodo suma biir kër ba xaaju guddi ma naan lii ñàkkat lii gàtta xel la de yéen mbaa lii jaamala yee te saa yoone bi mooy laas rek ma def
dafa play sax mu wil la ba pare rek léegi nga ne ko añ defaat beneen mu ne la dama war a dem de waaye ok dina play
oh loolu rek laa bëgg sama xol I swear to God loolu rek su passé tukki jomm palaat bi rek
nga play
waaw suba ngoon guddee bëccëg tayale yow bokk sax
oh my God wow
yal na bu ma taseeg nag ku soxor yal na bu ma taseeg ku soxor nag
wow
ku ma taseeg ku soxor rek ñàkk nga ma billaahi foo ma fekk rek ba ma fa
parce que di nga play
ba suba
for hours
ba suba maa ngi ne njëkk nu ma gaawee jógee fii dem toog play loolu
waaw xam naa loolu ba pare loolu jarut safu tawa sax niñ fee paree rap rek mu ngee dem
I swear
like okay and where's your favorite place that you've visited that's like your favorite place to visit outside of Gambia because xam naa ne Gambia fii la nekk outside of Gambia where's your favorite place to visit
Barcelona
Spain
yes,
why
Spain. I don't know I just love Spain
ay Dios mío
I just love Spain I love Spain I swear I don't know why
you just
I
love
swear.
Spain
My dream is to actually relocate
really
I swear
to Spain
if you ever sama utee si dëkk bi
Gisuma la rek ma ñëw
xam
Spain.
ne ñu toog naa Spain
wow
Spain rek laa bëgg sama
what's
biir xol
one thing in Spain that you love
I don't know everything about it Fanta I guess it has to come with my experiences
okay
you know for the many times that I've been there it's always been so good so welcoming like amazing that's how I talked my sister into going to school
Spain.
to Spain so I can be going
there
more
to
often.
visit her
Yes, I love Spain. And then besides, my dad lived in Spain for 26 years.
oh right okay
Yes. During that time though, I think I've only visited him once.
okay
I wouldn't say he's the reason why I do, but then there might be a
some
connection.
yeah
something,
probably
you know.
probably
But I love Spain.
that's nice
I love Spain
that's nice
so much. I don't know why. I just love Spain. Barcelona.
would you say you're romantic
I am very weird.
hey auntie would you say you're romantic
Me, I don't know.
what's the most romantic thing you've done for your husband
Me. Outside of cooking for him every day.
Madu.
I don't know. I'm not romantic. This fana ak romantic. Fum am ko.
Munenko.
I'm not romantic there, but I'm very caring,
Okay.
very cultured, very caring.
Okay.
I take care of my man.
Okay.
Yes, but I wouldn't say I'm very romantic. Another time that we would just jump and hug a guy
Okay.
or kiss a guy in the
Okay.
public.
Okay.
You know, no, I'm not crazy like that.
Okay.
No.
You're crazy in other
Sometimes
ways.
I wonder how people do it. Me, I'm not. My husband, hangaluma deo. Mune liko de jahal si man moy man dama jóg jël 2 hours di préparer pour génn. Su ma ñëwee ma simee ko génne suma wig bu foxee ko ma mel ni Moussa. He tells me that all the time. Dama yéré ba bëgg a dee. Mune, don't you think people in the house also want
to see you look
good?
good? True.
Why is it always the outside that needs
gets
to see you like this? He complains about it. And for me, I think man bala ma masak ma duga si suma short. Fuxi
Indi
wig
wig
bi
bi.
sol suma bonnet.
Talk.
Toog ràccu di wax rek ba suba.
Oh, that's nice though.
Yeah,
That's
but no,
nice.
I have my ways, but I wouldn't count myself
As a romantic.
person.
But what is some of the things that you do that is like let's say when you do it, it's like, you know, oh, my husband really likes this.
Hana food. Hana to cook for him.
Okay.
I get super excited when I
To
cook
cook for him.
him.
Oh, that's
Wallahi.
nice.
Given the fact that I don't eat his food,
Okay.
you know, I will cook for the guy and I wouldn't even try it.
Wow.
Never.
Because you don't like it?
I don't know their food. I just learned how to cook it.
That's sweet though. I
Yeah.
think that alone, that
So
also
yeah,
like,
I would run home every week, every day,
true.
and cook for him.
True. Except, yeah, even when she's playing Ludo, she'll be like, I'm talking to my chicken. I'm going to,
Wow.
my husband's waiting for me. Yeah, you
Lady.
do that. You do that. You do that.
Fok mu am lu serious lu ma stop from going home to cook for him. But I will cook on a daily.
I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. I think that's...
And he doesn't do frozen food. So you
everything
imagine.
from
So
scratch.
everything from fresh, everything. So yeah, I would say that. And I have his back too. He knows I'm everything about loyalty.
Yeah.
Yes, he knows.
Yeah.
Traffic sama hulo ak police because of the way he talks.
Wow.
So mistake ba hol ko yoko no ko ta xolé sama hulo ak yow ma defante bam sax. Su ko defé mu ne mind your business. Parce que niti jaama la man.
Wow,
man-
mom na
man
bugu
defante
problem,
rek.
to be honest.
Su ko defé mu ne ma ne can you mind your business? Because man may tuddé escalate things.
Everything.
Everything like man mako dede. Mudam ara the normal. Yeah. So
I
yeah.
like that. I
No.
like that. Okay. We'll go with our
That's
final
romantic
break.
now.
That is, you know what? That is actually romantic. I
Yes.
cannot, you know, you have tried.
Yes,
And
I'm
the Fana
tried.
Fana is doing
Yes,
her
I'm
love
Fana
in her way.
Fana and Sere. Mus nga dega in a love story Fana ak Sere.
We're gonna go
This
with
whole
our final
combination is
break.
serious.
When we're back, more with Haddy.
On the beat, Wingcraft.
Do you enjoy spending time online with your friends on social media? If so, then AfriCell has the best offer for you. Activate the social media bundle for $10 is only and enjoy 40 megabytes valid for 24 hours. WhatsApp, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, and Viber all for $10 is only. Dial 120# and press 3 to activate the social media bundle. No need to subscribe every day. It will automatically roll over for your enjoyment. AfriCell Social Media Bundle. Let us socialize.
Welcome back. After that, we're here in the final segment of the show, and this is obviously, we need to briefly talk about mental health because you know how important it is. It is a part of the show, but you know, you've explained a lot, Haddy. You've gone through a lot, and you're very strong. What would you say has been one thing that has really, or the things that you feel like have really tested your mental health? That you know, this,
I've had so many of those, Fanta, to be honest with you. So many. It's basically, it comes as episodes to me because, you know, when you have eyes on you too much, Purman Lolo alone is just too much for one person to deal with. You understand? Sometimes I just look at myself, I'm like, for how long can I survive this?
Wow.
You know? I go through so much, but I just managed to put up a really cute face that people don't see it. You know, because I know that it could affect a lot of people around me too, because, you know, I am that one person that, you know, is the head of a family, you know what I mean? I can't really let myself lose myself to the point where it's going to affect my family or the people that really care about me. You know what I mean? But then I can't be specific about one, but there's so many of them, especially for this year's one. I don't know how I'm able to even, I've actually just literally just accepted it and saying to myself, ne, so many def, bani di buga, santa koy jël ko a santa yalla. I think that's just me trying to tell myself that it's okay. It's okay. But there was one crazy one where I was actually losing a lot of hair, and I was afraid to talk about it because, you know, I don't read a lot. But then one thing I know is they talk about when you have cancer, how you lose hair and hair loss and stuff like that. And I was freaking out. I would cry nights. I would be crying. I don't have anyone to talk to about it. I was scared to open up about it. You know, I had a lump on my neck as well. It took me 3 weeks before I could actually just open up about it to my husband, then going to see a doctor. Traveled all the way to Senegal to see a doctor. You know, dañoo xar sa baat bi dañ ko wara génné ak yoyu nonu. I was scared to do that. I'm like, no, I'm gonna go to the UK. I went to the UK. It took one doctor to tell me you're fine. It's not life-threatening. I lost so much weight because of that. I wasn't eating. I was scared. I'm like, I might have cancer. I realized it's all stress. For what?
Wow.
I didn't choose to be what I am today. I worked hard to be what I am today. But I didn't choose to be known. I didn't choose to be popular. I didn't promote myself like a product to be popular. No. But I'm paying so much. It comes with so much just being known. There's no way I could actually just walk in. To the point, Fanta, when I go places, I have to watch the way I sit, the way I talk to people. I have to smile to everyone. I have to watch the way I speak to people. I have to watch what I wear. Yes, I'm decent. I'm a decent person. But then still, I still have to remind myself, oh, you're going this place, you shouldn't look like that. And that should not be the case. I should be free to do whatever I want to do. Be whatever I want to be, say whatever I want to say, but I'm not even allowed to do that just because of fame. So in a small country as Gambia. But you know, again, I always come back because of the support that I have.
Okay.
I have my biggest support system.
Yeah.
My husband.
Yeah.
My mother.
Yeah.
My mom, she's constantly praying.
Yes, sir.
My siblings loves me so much. My son, when I see that little kid, I don't worry about anything. I'll forget about everything.
That's sweet.
I'll be like, life is good. We move. Yeah, but it comes and goes. But I'm finding ways of tackling it and just having to just live with it and just allow it to come and go peacefully without just bringing me down, fighting it and losing myself in the process. No, I'm done with that. I'm not doing that anymore.
And what's one thing you do, just quickly before you move on, before we wrap up, because what's one thing you say you do that helps you when you're in these states? I know your son plays an important role, but like for yourself, what is one thing you say that, okay,
I'm one person that listens to myself.
Okay.
I reason a lot with myself. Yes, so some say ne dafa deger bopa. But deger bopa bobu nono I think is what kept me alive.
Mashallah.
Mashallah. It is what kept me alive because I listen to myself and Haddy does what Haddy wants. Yes. So this is one thing I know, ne? Without it, I could have been gone. Yeah.
Wow.
I listen to myself a lot.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. That's actually, you know, I know that would help a lot of people to just navigate, because mental health is no joke, and it's painful, you know, just to be able to just go through these things and even just not have, because you have family. Some people don't even know where to go. So thank you for sharing that. Let's come to a lighter note. You know I like my Never Have I Ever segment. Pick up your board.
Which one do I show?
That's the one. So, if I ask you a question and you switch it to I have, and then you take a sip.
Okay.
Okay?
What am I sipping?
The remainder of your juice.
It better not be a lot because that's almost
So
gone. Oh, okay, then we're
So-
going to spend the whole night.
We will not spend the whole night. Hanga so aminyari yo hamne. Wa mo isenliki. Huh? Okay. And if you have never, you say I have never.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So first question. Never have I ever fought in traffic.
Hey, traffic. Do I have to say how many times?
Please tell us.
My whole life.
Haddy.
Me, sometimes I will even remember, nobody can hear you. Who are you fighting?
Wow. I have never.
And man mi chok, man musa he, but tu acha ponye police, mangi bir badis. Wacha
Haddy.
traffic, ponye ko. I have, baby girl, talk about something else. I have. I have.
Hey, Haddy. Never have I ever fought a friend and got beaten.
Never. Me.
Maria de Dorio.
Smoga be got. Ne bara sewna way willa. Never.
Never have I ever lied to get an artist to perform.
Never.
You've never.
I don't have to.
You don't have to.
I'm the biggest.
Okay. Okay then. You do? Never have I ever cheated on any partner.
Never.
Never.
I told you. I'm all about loyalty.
You're all about loyalty.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I like that. I like
Besides,
that.
I can count how many. So.
Wow.
What are you talking
She
about?
just, you know, you just came out and they captured you, and you didn't go anywhere else. Love
No.
is sweet.
I don't do cheating. Anything to do
Anything.
with cheating, I
You
don't
don't
like.
do it.
No. I'd rather walk away and go after something else. Then we have to be respectful. That's what our culture
Yeah.
teaches us.
Yeah.
That's what I was taught
Yeah.
to be.
I like that. Final question. Never have I ever, never have I ever cooked for my husband and he got burnt. I don't have a husband, so I'm not joining.
I've never cooked and burnt it, but I've baked and burnt it.
For him.
And it wasn't for him. During COVID, it was a lot of stress. I was baking me. It's there.
It's there.
You see it. It's
Wow.
there. I had to put it out there.
Really?
Yes. I said I wanted to learn how to bake. My dear,
It's not for you. Did you try baking again after that?
no.
No?
I can't.
Okay.
It's not for me. I don't like to measure things. There's so
Right.
much protocol.
Oh my God.
I
I
can't.
think that's why I could never. I always tell Lama I don't know how to do.
I don't. When I cook, I don't taste things. I just cook.
And you just put
Now
things
this
there.
one you want to
Measure two
1.5
teaspoons.
spoon, 2 cups of water, 1 cup of flour. How? No, sorry. Me, I like to calculate from my head.
And then make it work.
Make it work.
I like that.
Sometimes you remix, you make mistake, you fix something, put something else to mix it to work.
There's that joke that black people, our ancestors tell us how to measure and just and
Yes.
it turns out and it does.
That's what I do.
Because people ask me like, oh, what did you? I don't know.
I don't know.
I put the palm oil. It's enough.
I can
It's
cook
enough.
the same thing, it will taste different every time I cook it.
Shake me.
Because I will do whatever I like.
Because there's
Sometimes
no
I will
measurement.
I'll put jumbo. Sometimes I refuse. I don't want jumbo. I will not put jumbo.
On that note, that brings us to the end of this segment, to the end of this episode. Super, super happy. But, you know, right before we wrap up this segment, Haddy, before I say goodbye, anything that you want to tell the people before we wrap up?
I just wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you again. I know I've said it, but it's never going to be enough. Everything I am, ginaaw Yalla, is because of the people that support me, the Gambians that are behind me. Maki ma ñaanal, xale yi ma xool buga ma te rek Yàlla tax
Truly.
di ma support nag su ma tegoon pot sax ñu uy si ma su ma ne leen déglu leen ñu déglu ma. I just wanted to say thank you so much. ñu ne fas lu mu daw nga yokk ko caw.
True.
maa ngi fi seen sista la seen doom la seen yaay la si ñi ma mut yaay lépp loo xam ne maa ngi koo def loo xam ne lu jaaduwut la lu jaarut yoon la jàppee leen ma ni seen boppa rek wax leen ma ko te dinaa leen déglu. I am a very good listener and most people that know me will tell you that I'm the one person that would actually seek someone else's opinion, and I would always listen and take the best out of whatever it is given to me.
Sure.
We have to. You always constantly have to do that because you can't do it alone. It takes a village. So yes, I wanted to say a big thank you, and then I would never let you guys down. I'm always going to be repping. I'm always going to make you proud. I promise to bring you the biggest events. I'm just breaking boundaries.
Speaking of biggest
Inshallah.
events, we know that after Ramadan, you're bringing Ruga.
Yes, we're doing Ruga.
We're excited about that.
Super excited.
We are excited
I am
about
super
that.
excited about
And you
it.
know, it goes without saying I have to be on that stage. I
Of
mean,
course.
we already know that.
I'm super excited about Ruga.
I'm very excited about
Yes.
Ruga because his favorite song for you is which one?
Girlfriend.
What
I want
if
to learn how to
what
dance that dance.
before he comes?
But I'm a Steve nak.
Didi, when in the jungle,
I have to learn that
Nii la,
dance.
nii.
I
Danga def
know.
nii. Danga ekkati sa tànka bi nii, comme kuy cëggi.
I have to take this pouch out too, so I can make that move properly. Yes, we have Ruga.
Yes.
December we have, I mean, you know me, I don't talk.
Yes, you
Just
just
watch, you see.
a lot coming.
We have a lot coming this year too.
I'm
Yes,
excited.
this year we're going out. You
By
know
fire,
what?
by force.
We have been tested. So because we have been tested, we're bringing a lot of things this year. Ruga, 27th of May, inshallah rabbi, ñu fekke ko ak jàmm at Q City. Ñu ngi leen naa ñaan ñuy teel a génn si. Absolute entertainment from now on. Moving forward, we are not going to be hosting events later than 3 a.m.
Yes.
3 a.m. we are
We're
going
shutting
home.
down.
We would be home, not we are going home. It means we need to be ready before 3 a.m. because we would be home at 3 a.m. We are not going to be hosting events at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. We're not doing that. We are human beings, and a lot can happen after events. You could do after parties,
Yeah.
a lot more. You know,
Yeah.
we should start to have more fun rather than just going to sit at a venue for 4 or 5 hours just to watch somebody perform for one hour. It
True.
doesn't make sense, and
True.
it's disrespectful. We can't be doing that, so we need to change. The habits needs to change. We have to change the habit of going to events so late. So we're saying 9 o'clock to 2 a.m. That's it, 9 o'clock to 2 a.m. because we want to have an after party where we could have you guys come to as well until morning,
Yeah.
as it pleases you.
Yeah.
But we are not doing late night concerts anymore. So 27th of May, ñu fekkee ko ak jàmm. at Q City, inshallah. We'll come with so many other surprises on that show and even better shows in December, inshallah.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you, Haddy, so much. This has been such a great conversation. Thank you for coming on Sip and Chat.
Thank you. I'm so glad I came. It didn't honestly
Told
feel
you.
like
I
gala
told
dinner.
you. I told you. I told you.
I don't know. I need to break it.
Yes.
I need to break
You
it.
did well.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Thank you.
Remember, guys, peace, love, and cha-ching, cha-ching. Bye-bye.